Good afternoon, TNT, and of course, good afternoon to the rest of the world. Welcome to a very special edition of the Drive Time Live. I'm Rikki, and of course, you're locked on to Win Radio 101.1 FM, and you're also viewing us on the cable network channels 12. Locally, you're also looking at us on 37 and 39, and I'd like to remind you out there in viewing land that pretty soon we're going to be free to air on channel 7. So take note of that. Win TV, with all the great programming, we're coming to you free to air on channel 7. My co-host today, none other than half man, half amazing DJ Sean. What's up, Sean?
I'm good, Rikki. Welcome back to Drive Time.
Well, I took a week off and you brought me back. To, a man can't get a rest. What going on? What going on?
Today, the reason I invited you to come back today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Since time Chuck King, and you're about to meet the King of Soca, who's on his way. He's about 5 minutes away. Machel is coming in to talk about Machel Monday, next week Monday.
Right.
We head into Hazel Crawford Stadium.
Well, there's a lot of things happening with Machel Montano, but of course we'll be telling you all about that inside the program. This is a very, very special program being brought to you today with the kind compliments of B-Mobile and Angostura. And, Sean, having Machel on the show today is, such a great, great treat because I think this might be one of his first television interviews for the season, major television interviews.
Actually, it's his first television interview since he's coming back into the Soca arena for the Soca Monarch.
Right.
And he did one radio interview before, which is on 96.1, the radio station. So we are blessed to have him here this afternoon.
Definitely, definitely. And we've also got our own events coming up. We've got a major event coming up next week, Friday at the Anchorage. We want to tell people a little more about that.
Well, all the concert is taking place Carnival Friday. We have people like Cassie, Ben Jai, Charles Marshall, yourself.
Yes. I thought you'd forget me there.
That's it, that's the last one. I'm Rikki right now. Tickets are with 200 TT or 25 US.
Right.
I mean, what more can you ask for Carnival Friday?
Tell me something, Sean. What was the what was the rationale for taking all the concert down to the West on Carnival Friday?
A lot of people said we kept concentrating on San Fernando and Shipwaters. We even went to the East with the all-inclusive party,
right?
And it was a success a couple of Sundays ago. And everybody kept saying, when is Win Communications coming to the West?
Right.
And as I was saying yesterday, a lot of people have this concept that Chutney don't pass Carolina Bridge. Remember, we kept talking about that over and over again.
Right. Yes.
But we are going to prove them wrong. We are Win Radio, we are Win Communications, and we are going to make a difference.
All right. So Carnival Friday, we're going to be at the Anchorage for the O concert. Of course, I want to remind our viewers that this program is coming to you with the kind compliments of B-Mobile and Angostura. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll chat some more about the upcoming concert, and we should also have Machel Montano, the ultimate king of soca, in the house. Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world. Welcome back to a very, very special edition of the Drive Time Live right here on Win Radio 101.1 FM and of course on Win TV channels 12 on the cable network, 37, 39 locally. And of course, Sean, we forgot our online crew. We've got to say a big hi and a hello to our live stream crew and of course the online.
What's up?
Win Radio 101.com, Win TV World. I mean, is there any place that Win TV, isn't broadcast or people, can't get a taste of Win TV?
No.
And
even in Alaska.
Even in Alaska. And of course, we've got to say thanks to all the viewers and all the other people all over the world who log on and make Win TV such a success and Win Radio such a success.
And of course, Rikki, before Machel comes in, the concert is going to be off the hook. It's going to be the biggest thing people have seen in West on a Carnival Friday. I can guarantee that.
I saw you in Chutney, so come on, Sean. You having a ball of a time.
Yes, I came to support my artists.
Well, Well,
as your manager.
I must say I didn't disappoint you.
No, you didn't. You never did.
And again, let me say thank you very much to all the support, the fans from Trinidad and Tobago, the rest of the world, the online support, the aunties, the uncles, the nanny, nana, everybody who came out and sent in their text messages. Thank you. No. A big night coming up for Machel Montano. No, he's going to be entering Soca competition, returning to center stage after a long absence from competition. So it's going to be interesting to see and talk to him about that when he does come on the set in a short while.
Yes, of course it will be, Rikki. Of course, I just want to remind everybody who is listening to us on the radio, if you want to see us, you can check out www.livestream.com/winradio101.
Right.
Very simple. And our website for the radio is www.winradio101.com. The TV website is www.wintvworld.com.
What about that Win TV VIP card? How's that going?
Well, all you have to do is log on to www.wintvworld.com/VIP and fill out the online registration.
Tell me why I should become a Win VIP. What's the benefits to me?
Well, for people who travel abroad and stuff like that, you head into New York, places like Maracas nightclub, Mocha nightclub, right here in Trinidad. Any events we'll be doing. Plus, we have a couple of places coming on board, like stores and stuff like that.
Right.
You'll be getting a discount.
So lots of benefits.
Yeah,
with
lots
the card.
of benefits.
Lots of benefits with the cards with the card in store.
And then, from what I heard, they're going to put my face on the card. So, hey.
Well, that should work wonderful for parents who need to scare their kids on a daily
basis. No,
not
your face. Not your face, Rikki. Right. So, Rikki, how does it feel to be the first millionaire out of the in the competition for 2011?
Fantastic. I must say, getting up. Well, I shouldn't have getting up Sunday morning because, like I said before, Sunday morning it was like Juve by my house. People I didn't know, and I must big up my boys from Claxton. Some strangers, just passing up by me. See the truck and stop. They were on their way to my arrow. I can't remember these guys' name, but they came in and they had a time. They lime. That's the life in Trinidad and Tobago, Sean. People from all walks of life and all races were just passing by, coming by the house, and celebrating in the success. And I couldn't ask for more. It's a top for the world feeling, and I'm very, very happy to have won the title and be a part of the the generosity of the People's Partnership in their promise. They made a very serious commitment to entertainment in Trinidad and Tobago, post-election, pre-election. And once they got into power, they stood by their word. And I must say hats off to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Arts and Multiculturalism for, stepping forward and, sticking with it. And I want to wish, the other competitors in the other competitions, the Panorama, the Calypso Monarch, and the Soca Monarch, all the best. And let's see who's going to take the next two.
Now, as you said on Monday when we interviewed you, Rikki, you were stepping down from the competition. Is that a final step down, or let's say the prize money we raise again? Would you enter again?
Well, in the interim here, everything is subject to change. Sure, life is about change. You know what I'm saying? I have come out of competition in 2003 when I tied with Hiralal. I said I was not going back in the competition. I stepped out for a couple of years. And then, the fans said to me, meet people all over the place, they say, Rikki Jai, you have so much to offer to the community. You have so much to offer to the culture. You are a man who have been given so much, and why would you stop now? So, based on the fans, asking me to go back into competition, I went back in 2006 or 2007, somewhere around there. I took a little time off. And, I went back in, I took my licks. I went back in and I wasn't successful at regaining the title at all. I went back in, I got licks. Ruplal beat me, Salik beat me, Ravi beat me. Everybody was beating me. I was wondering what was going on. I was getting at the licks for nothing. But I took my licks like a man, and I went back and I plan and keep, trying to figure out how do I, change, the losing way to the winning way. And 2011, came up with the right formula, the right marketing campaign, and appealing to the fans and the people who have supported Rikki Jai for 20 years. And that's, that's by no stretch of the imagination, Sean. For an entertainer to be in the business for 20 years and, still be running strong, with the young and the old and in between. I think people reached out and sent their text messages and said, you know what, this guy is really worth his 2 ounces of salt in the business. You know what I mean? So, that being said, I am going to take a break from competitive Chutney Soca Monarch for a while. But if, like I said before, if they bring it to 5 million, I will have no choice but to listen to the fans.
Well, at least you'll get some money to pay me back from the loan you borrowed.
Yeah, I think you didn't get the email showing you got fired.
Huh? Really? That's a good fire because you're still Mr. Jaikan tell me giving me your shift.
Oh, shucks. It's all good.
Next week, Monday, where we heading, Rikki?
Next week, Monday. Where are we heading Monday?
Machel Monday.
I don't even have my itinerary in front of me.
Machel Monday is next week, Monday. We head into the Hazley Crawford Stadium.
Most definitely, most definitely.
When he comes in, I know I'm going to get my platinum ticket. I know I'm going to get my platinum ticket very shortly.
Well, Monday night, I'll definitely be up there, having a good time because, I have performed in the AC events. And I must let the viewers know that if you go to an AC event, you're going to a class show. You're going to an event that is well organized. Everything is in place: food, drinks, music, sound system, and then the man at the moment when he hits the stage, it's unbelievable. The electricity, the energy that flows out with him. And I suspect and I expect that on Monday it's going to be no different. Carnival, Monday it's not going to be any different at all.
Once again, for this afternoon, we'd like to thank White Oak and B-Mobile for being our sponsors here this evening.
Yeah, man, definitely.
A special edition of Drive Time Live. I've got two kings. One is missing so far, but one is here with me.
Let's say a big hi to some friends from Toronto, the audio ambassadors, Riyadh and...
guys, Ronnie, let people see a little picture of it. Are you frightened?
Yeah, man. And of course, Sean, I must say that, this competition, I could not have done it without some of my friends in the business.
Is this where I get up and bow now?
No. That is not, but,
big up
to my boy, Riyadh, for the support out there.
Riyadh, what's up?
Working the trenches out there for me, big up to, everybody who was out there in Toronto, working, the phone lines, working the Facebook. It was unbelievable. So what did you see, man?
Man, we come down and enjoy the weather, the Chutney Monarch, see how it goes, first time ever. I can tell you right now, I'm gonna come back again.
You're coming again?
I'm coming again. We'll be back.
Well, next year I'll be enjoying it.
You're enjoying next year?
Of course. Rikki take a rest. You see, Rikki took a rest because he know I'm coming.
Yeah.
And he don't want me to defeat him now. So.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's why I retire. I decided to retire early because I can't, I'm afraid Sean. Yeah.
Well, I respect everybody.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So, you see, Sean, it was all part of the networking, all part of the marketing campaign. I didn't do that. I didn't take a truck and go around the country and give out T-shirts and that sort of thing. I did a more direct marketing campaign, and I reached out to people and I touched them in a beautiful way. And you know what? They reached back out and touched me. All right. So it's the Drive Time Live, powered by B-Mobile and of course White Oak. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be chatting with a guy who's going to blow Trinidad away Monday and then explode on Fantastic Friday. I'm talking about Machel Montano HD. When we come back,
young fella, I am just a fucking farmer. If you really like me, daughter, come and sit down and take a drink with your father, beta. All I have.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Drive Time live on Win Radio 101.1 FM, live on Win TV. As I promised you today, all to the CD Mobile and Angostura Limited, we have two kings in the studio. Well, it's supposed to be three, but I don't like to call myself a king. Right? But I am a king. 6-time Chutney Soca Monarch, Rikki Jai, and the undisputed king of soca of the world and the universe, Mr. Machel Montano. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. You forget to say something in the intro.
All right,
about to be the.
Wait a minute. I have the $2 million Chutney Soca artist.
$2 million man.
And I have the $100 million soca man.
About to be. About to be. Yeah.
So, Machel, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I was always a supporter of Win from the get-go. I spoke to Mohan when he was first coming into the dream. We used to work a lot outside in
Mocha, Maraca,
Mocha, Calypso.
Mash up Rim.
It was all different names, Rum Jungle, but we started there, Calypso City. That was the days,
That was the early days.
That's something after Calypso City.
Rum Jungle.
I'm not as old as Rikki, so he will remember this.
Big DJ Sean.
The dinosaur in the business.
Yeah. I know he's not.
Rikki,
they call him dinosaur.
Rikki, he don't even touch records no more. He making records.
But Machel, you was a DJ too. How much people can remember Machel used to make?
Yeah, back in Penal Convent, I used to make promotion with Soul. I used to do Penal Convent Bazaar.
Let me take you back. Let me take you back in time a little bit. I mean, let me welcome you to the set of the Drive Time Live, of course, powered by B-Mobile and White Oak.
Man.
I was driving by Gulf City Mall, and I saw a stage on some barrel, and a little 7-year-old, right, on 3 little fellas and a real big fellow with a bass, and I pull up and I see a little sign, Panasonic Express, and all it was jamming in Gulf City car park.
Rikki, I still have that picture.
Yeah.
I have that picture that day. Yeah, that was one of our first shows and outings when we was trying something, and we used to have the keyboard on our desk.
Yes, and Roland Ali Bukas.
Roland.
I think it was using Roland.
Work with all those chutney bands in the past. I used to use his Chuno and.
Yes.
We come from far.
You come from far, man. I must give you enough respect, and I mean, hats off to your mom and your dad, and what's the Rasta that's built you all the time?
Soul. Harold Bash.
Hey, listen, if you have a man, have your back. Trust me, that man have your back,
One of the things I look at, I have one of the best teams in the business, and I owe that as a family. When I look around yesterday, I was just looking around and being grateful because, it's a season where a lot of people want things and everybody, not happy they didn't get this and that. I try to really be grateful for what I have. And I look at Soul, I look at Steve, and I look at Nappy.
The fellas that cut your hair, remember Inspector, the fellas that come and cut your hair. I mean, I say, you mean a barber going to leave his shop and come in the spectacular and make sure Machel have that clip right on the, you know what I mean?
Rikki, you're going to have a whole saloon following you now. Congrats to you.
Man.
A job well done.
Thank you very much.
I think we really bring a lot of energy to the Skinner Park. Saturday night, that was a real good
your
time.
performance was phenomenal, man. I mean, you ripped that park to pieces, especially when you bring the I thought you was taking advantage for a little while there,
Listen, hear what happened to me, right? I went there as an artist, and I leave there as a fan of that crowd.
Right.
Because I couldn't believe that, this is a chutney crowd who really, they wanted to fit, and they opened their arms, and they really make it nice for me,
But Machel,
it was really nice.
Something. I don't think you'd have another soca artist could have gone in that crowd and performed for an hour straight without the people making noise.
Well, there's only a few men on the block could boast at 25 and 30 years. Rikki and I start off by Kenny Phillips. Sumintra, when Kenny was on the next side.
When you were rehearsing down the hill, down inside Kura, I was practicing with Roland further down in the camp.
You know what I mean? Down in
Nucleus.
Slumberger.
Yes, Slumberger camp.
So we have a lot of history, and when you have that kind of history, you grew up in front of a lot of people. People know Machel for singing songs with Drupal T, singing songs with Rikki Jai. So they could connect with me that night, and that wasn't by mistake. But I really find that night the crowd had a real good time. They was maintaining a high, and everybody was behaving, and it was a real nice
I think one of the high points of your performance that night was when you brought on Pranava Maharaj. I mean, for the Beyonce concert, you brought him on, and I mean, the guy destroyed the crowd with this high note, and you brought him back this time. I mean,
up to now, I don't know how I find this, these youths. I was doing the Boy show, and I went to them and I always said, look, we need to find some young chutney singer, somebody who could sing. And somebody went and, just sent him to me. Right. And he came, and the first time I see him perform or handle the stage, he was doing the Usain Bolt sign, and he was just a star. And people haven't seen the half of him yet, because he will call me up. He called me up just before here and say, good show in B Square, we taking advantage. I go in and tweet that you're going on on radio right now. He tweet that to the world, and he called me uncle. but he's always emailing me rhythms that he producing on his laptop and songs that he want to write. And you know, this is he inspired me, him, Timel Rivers, all the young Calypsonians and, you know, chutney artists who coming up now, they inspire me to say, from this year, you know, I go and try to put support behind them and really help them to become, you know, a young generation of stars.
How do you feel about people saying to you, Machel, and I'm glad you spoke about the young upcoming artists, how do you feel about people saying to you, Machel, why don't you give the youths a chance? Why are you coming back into this? Why? How do you feel about these statements that people make out there? A person like yourself who have given so much of your life, your time and everything else to culture and music, and then you will hear people say something like, well, why Machel do take a rest and give somebody else a chance? I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, everybody will have a different feeling, and feelings are relative. Some people might look at that as you're not giving them a chance. You know, when I came into this business, there were no youths in it.
Right.
It was not cool to sing calypso or to do your own culture.
Yes.
And I really gave them a chance by, you know, striving hard and being determined and figuring out what was necessary to make it be liked by young people. I had to change a lot. My role as the most important thing that I see myself as for my career, besides motivating people, is really the changes that I have brought to this industry. You know, the standards that I have raised, the stages, the equipment, the style of music, the taking chances with reggae and chutney and mixing. I encourage them to do that. Sometimes that is more of giving them a chance. Me being here, make them work harder. You know, make them really fight to really, they have to compete in the US market.
Yeah.
On every corner is a rapper.
Yeah.
On every street side is a singer, is a dancer. You have to be real, you know, on your A game to rise up and to make it. So if you really talk about giving them a chance, I think with me here, there's a lot of guidance.
Right.
And there's a lot of good inspiration for them to follow. And you know, and I'm very young. I am a youth too. I still in my days.
Just yesterday we were talking on the phone, Machel, and I made as a promoter, as a DJ in the business and everything, who has been working with you for the last couple of years. Last year you stood out of Carnival, and it affected, I don't care what no promoter says, it affected the parties. Because all the big name parties did not get the numbers they used to get in. And I mean, you came back in this year and you brought back the numbers. I mean, I could tell you that because, you know, we always do things together.
Yeah.
I mean
sometimes...
So I think the people need to respect you for who you are.
Sometimes we need to understand and speak these kind of truths.
Yeah.
Because certain artists have a following. And Machel Montano is one of them. It didn't happen by mistake. You know, I really plan it out. I really do an album every year. I'm probably one of the only soca artists could boast a 35 albums.
The only other soca artist to have an album every year since he started to sing is Lord Kitchener.
Well, this is what I mean.
And Machel Montano.
You know,
nobody else has done a full album.
But this is where you bring fans, and it's not just the album too. People don't want you to just come and sing your song. People want you to come and entertain them, and you know, and give them a new experience. And that is one thing about Machel. Every show, I customize. You know, it's never the same show from last night. It has something to do with where I'm going. I put in something. I invite Pranav. You know, tomorrow I might invite Timel.
I met Zan in and he said to me, boy, I'm tired. I said, what are you doing? He said, boy, this man changing. Every show is a different thing. This man just changing. And
you have to be on point because you're giving the audience a chance to follow you every night. The experience is organic. It's like the Grateful Dead.
So you're not bringing the same show 25 times in the season.
Nah,
it's always different.
You plan 50%, and the rest is spontaneous. Get your inspiration for it. You might see a man climb up a light post,
right?
And you have to go now and respond to that and make it relative to the crowd, and they will remember that night for that happened, and then they will keep coming the next night to see, well, what might happen tonight, or what might, you know, and the memories really stay. So I think that is what is owed to me, having a following and being able to bring that comfort to a promoter. That when Machel come out, a lot of people will come out, you know, and we have to be true, all the other artists, to understand that this is what you have to aspire to do. This is what you have to be. You have to sell out. Right now, you know, we waiting for the next soca artist to sell out the stadium.
Right.
You know, to have a show that stands up and say, this is my show. They have to see themselves as that big.
Machel, you are the king of soca, and you are the king of soca of the world, right? Who do you see coming close to you right now?
I mean, there are a lot of youths, and you see 30 years experience, having the right parents, having the right management, the right education is important. And really and truly, I believe that there are a lot of people out there. You know, we may not have our finger on the button or who it might be. A lot of them may be doing it right now, but just need one thing to turn their whole, view and see themselves as a huge international star. You know, I always saw myself as being fortunate and blessed, and I know I had to work hard. John, every night I want to go in a tent. You feel like I want to come and sit down and watch Chutney Soca Monarch at night and learn something. You feel like I want to go movie tongue and lime, but every day I have to work. And I'm always missing those opportunities. But that is what we have to see in other artists. I think people like Aaron Fresh coming up, he's a young, I'll be bringing him in for my concert.
Yeah, I heard so.
He's a young Trini out there in LA trying to represent for soca. I still think it have a lot of talent in Trinidad. People like Pranava, people like Timel Rivers, people like Aaron Duncan. I have a lot of youths. You know, Devin, there's a little girl named Devin. She's singing all over the place, and you might see her soon. I mean, I just stay open because I know that if you put me, if I get a big job in the Ministry of Multiculturalism or something, just to really work on artists, I feel that I could do better for a greater percentage of the population than I would do for myself. Just by showing them what to do and showing them how to reach. And that is my goal. Just that right now, I still on my path.
I have a question for you because, I've always, and I tell people that Machel Montano, he's one of the greatest planners I've seen in the business, and he's got the greatest marketing team, and that's why he's, where he is today. Everything is very meticulously planned out and, positioned and planned for him. And then last year, you just said, I'm stepping out.
Yeah.
And you moved out to LA, and you just left the scene. Was that another well thought out plan, or is it just that Machel needed a rest? Because I know how heavy and hard the circuit could be for you.
Strange enough, I was dreaming about taking that break for many years. I mean, even before the year 2000 came, I was dreaming that there would be this day, and somehow 2010 or 2011 was in my mind because I wanted to start on a 1 or end on a 10. And really and truly, it is because I had dreams and I had things that I wanted to do. And I will always find myself in Carnival where there's no time to think it out properly.
Right.
Yes, everything that is happening to me is happening on the fly. I mean, I didn't have my total show for the return until yesterday.
Right.
To know exactly what I was doing. I had all the players and all the things, and I just had to sit down and brainstorm how I'm going to do this. Now I had to work hard from now till Monday.
Just a few days.
Have it, well, we are accustomed doing that. It's crunch time. Under pressure, we work the best.
But some would say it was another strategic move. Well, some would say it was this is Machel brain working overtime here. You know what? Let me create that void. Let me create that vacuum, and let me create that sense of one and that sense of.
Rikki, if you watch it, he said 2011 has 2 1s in it in the road match and Soca Monarch.
But not only that, it was thought about. It was thought of. It was planned. Just coming up to it, I was like, this is it. I'm gonna just step back. It was for many reasons. Yes, I was tired. Yes, I was trying to find back myself and find back my mission, what I really want to do. And yes, I wanted to see what the atmosphere will look like without me, if anybody will step up to the plate. And at the same time, it was a sacrifice that I wanted to make. I wanted some silence, and I wanted to remove myself from that, my rate of action to really see what I could do musically. Because Machel Montano have a dream sound. I have a dream sound in my head that, it is my unattainable goal right now. I ain't reached there. I ain't find the right producer, writers, the people to work with. I keep searching.
Well, but that being said, you have that dream song, but the world is noticing Machel Montano now.
Yes.
I was in New York. I switched on my radio, and driving down Atlantic Avenue, and then I hear, the announcer Machel Montano alongside Pitbull, and you seem to have now you're gaining attention internationally because now you're you're doing collaborations with Pitbull. You that song with Enrique Iglesias. I mean, bad like that. You know what I mean?
On my way here,
Yeah.
I was sitting down with one of Pitbull's main producers.
Yeah.
I dropped him off, but he was at my show this morning. He already flew in. And all we were doing is listening to new records and new styles. And he was just telling me, this is what they're working on, this is what Pitt
Right.
working on, this is what we need to do. Records for me and Pitt to do.
But,
you know,
but tell us about the connect, because the connect is very important.
Very important.
For an artist. You are the kingpin of the Caribbean. I mean, I've seen where you go some places and make gigantic reggae artists look small, and is it that that because of this this madness that people, when they look at your shows, thousands of people just going crazy with Machel Montano. Is it this, or are you able to connect through managers and how is it done?
I think it's an energy.
Yeah.
And it's an energy that everybody possesses in them, but sometimes some people are afraid to really rise to it and use it. And I sometimes throw it to the wind and use that energy. And a lot of the people who work with me, like Pitbull, they see me and they come to me. Pitbull was like, he was calling me for 2 years. And, and the first song he had was a little vulgar.
Right.
Little mama don't win all this and that. And when he said, I so want to work with Pitbull, but I had to go in a corner and ask myself, boy, you really want to do this to your
Right.
fans?
Yeah.
And I had to tell him, yo, that can't work, I really can't do that in Trinidad.
Yeah.
He want to come into the Caribbean market. And then he sent, Calabria, which was Defense, the anthem.
Yeah.
It was a big song around the world, and we went with that. So something was to stand up and be yourself. With Pitbull now, he realized what I did by bringing him here. Sometimes you have to give to get.
Yeah.
When these artists want to experience the Caribbean, they want to jump and wave and party how we do it. Our energy is unique. And they're looking at that and they're jealous. They want some of that. So when you bring it in and you give them it and you put Pitbull in the stadium in front of 30,000 people and you get that energy, it make him right. Latinos, let's go crazy. Now jump up, let's go crazy. And they'll start integrating soca. My moment of truth with Pitbull was realizing how loyal he was to me and how thankful he was and grateful. Because I work with plenty of artists who come, they work and they're gone. But he would stay with me, and he came the year I was dealing with Pranav and all the youths, and I was doing the Boy show. And I was so busy doing that production and working with these 150 children that every day the same producer I was with today was giving me, he said, man, I put some songs on your laptop for Pitt, and he wants you on any one of them.
Right.
Go in there, listen to this one. Listen to this one. And one in particular, he was like, go on this record. Go on this record. And I was just like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, I'll do it the next day. My voice was going, okay. And lo and behold, when that record come out, that record was Kayocho. I Know You Want Me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on it.
Right.
And immediately after Carnival, I sit down and a bulb went on in my head.
Yeah.
And say, if I keep being busy focusing on Road March and Carnival and doing Carnival all the time, I will keep missing these opportunities, because that song changed Pitbull's life.
For sure. For sure.
And he still returned the favor. He still came back to me, take one of my songs. And while I was in here last year, I was on tour with Pitbull, 22 cities, big tour bus, something I never
we see you
experienced.
we see you in Puerto Rico. We see the love you get in Puerto Rico.
Flags.
All
Mad,
over
mad,
Six
mad,
Flags,
yeah.
Crazy.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And he didn't just put me to sing with him. He was like, I go and give you the job to do my production. So I was actually like the production manager with the dancers and the costumes and the confetti guns. And I had a month to think of all the ideas that I could bring to him. Buy the jumpers, get everything to make it look like it was Carnival. Because the name of his tour was Mr.HD Worldwide Carnival Tour.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, and he used my dancers, HD dancers, I was able to carry them on tour. So this guy is the truth. Pitbull is what you call the truth. And he's reaping that success right now. He just finished records with Shaggy, records with, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira. And every day I get to sit down and hear them and learn where we need to go. So he is an important connect. And when you make these kind of connects, you have to spend time. The last thing we said to each other today is, we go in and spend time as soon as Carnival finish in the studio working on more stuff.
We're coming back to Machel Montano because we have so much more to talk to him about. But right now it's about the Drive Time Lives, powered by B-Mobile and White Oak. I'm Rikki Jai alongside DJ Sean. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll chit-chat with Machel a little more because there's so much happening Monday, And all of Trinidad and Tobago is going to explode on Fantastic Friday. I want to talk to him about that. Don't touch your dial and do not touch your TV. We'll be right back.
It's a Jai Master. It's only 5 cents to text.
Back to Win Radio 101.1 FM, and of course welcome back to Win TV. We are in studio, very, very special edition of the Drive Time Live, powered by T-Mobile and White Oak. And today we've got a very, very special guest, the legend, the living icon. You know, you call him what you want. He's the boy, the king. Yeah, we know. I know him as boy. You know what I mean? We go back like that.
Yeah.
But we've also got the O concert coming up, Carnival Friday night at the Anchorage Shagaramas, Trinidad. And I'm seeing on this flyer that you're actually on the third leg of this concert, or the second leg of this concert, September 3rd, at the Mocha nightclub in New York City.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you don't even know where your schedule is for tomorrow.
I don't look that far into the future. I learn not to create too much future and not to think about too much past.
Right.
I live in the now. I stay focused. Like right now, my mind is just on Monday.
Right.
Machel Monday. And as soon as Monday finish,
Friday,
my mind on Friday.
Machel Monday. I knew the birth of AC. I knew when it happened. I knew how it happened, why it happened, and I knew, it is amazing that your trend of thought of why you wanted to have your own show at that point in time. Give us a little bit about why AC, and you've run AC for a couple of years, you've shut it down, and now you've come with Machel Monday.
Yeah.
But take us back as to why.
Rikki, you're good. you find the next brand. Because the next brand is all about branding.
Yeah.
And you have to think about truths. You see, telling you the truth to your own self is really the best way in life. And I used to say to myself, I used to go in brass first. We used to dream about playing in brass. We used to go up in brass, and when we go up in brass, it's like if it's so mad, you can't get to play, you can't make a mistake, you can't waste a minute, they're pulling you off the stage. I remember bands playing, and they want to mash up a song, and they're rolling the stage off.
The stage rolling.
And it's because there's so many bands, they all fighting to play the same songs. Everybody playing the same thing. I was like, this is not progressive. Right. And one day I just sit down and I say, we need to have an alternative concept to this.
Right.
And I went to everybody. I went to every single promoter in Trinidad. I wouldn't call their names. And they all turned me down and said, I'm crazy. I said, I want to go up on the night of brass.
Because it might have been suicidal for anybody to think to go up against brass.
I was like, I am going with an alternative concept. And, big up to Roy Mirage, the promoter, who said, I like that. And that is what you should call the show. The alternative concept.
Right.
And I said, okay, cool. And it was the fact that here we were going to promote something that I believe was truth. Something that I believe was much better than what was happening. We cannot come and play everybody else's songs, everybody playing it, all the bands trying to play the best Whatless or the best Trini, and they're trying to outdo one another. That is not the competition we should be having. We should compete to make our own songs popular, make our own albums, and stand up there for 45 minutes an hour and play all our own songs. I was one of the first bands, and I was inspired by Charlie's Roots and David Rudder and Tambu, because me and Nappy used to go and watch Roots, Song Rev, Chandelier, Ronnie, all of them. Yes, they would do their songs, but they would all play popular songs, and Roots took that stance. So we, were inspired, we adopted that, and we were one of the first youth bands to stand up and say, we're going to play all our songs, and that's why I work so hard every year to try and have 5-6 hits on the radio. Right. So that I could do my set, and it could be relevant.
And it's Machel Montano.
And it's all, local.
It's Machel. You come to hear Machel, and you hear Machel.
Yeah. So that was the birth of it. And the fact is that after doing it, the first year we had 5,000 people in Mobs 2. The next year we went to Pier 4, we had about, 10. The next year we went to Pier 1, Pier 2, we had 15.
And that was the end of the other competition.
And by that time, we came to the Savannah, and by the time we reached the stadium, This was just growth. And it was based on a true principle. We hire Kess, we hire all the bands that we hire, we'll tell them, tonight is about playing your own songs.
Right.
Tonight is about, and we try to build that brand. So for me now, it was also a concert night. I wanted them to see that, put our entertainment on par with the foreign entertainment, but not just bring in a foreigner. Bring somebody who was related to martial music, working on soca, like soca, Shaggy, Beanie Man, everybody who I brought worked with me. And then that became standard, that they would bring in a foreign artist, they bring international artists. So it's no longer alternative concept.
Machel, right now, you have gone through eras from Sparrow, Kitchener, David Rodder, Tambu, Rikki Jai.
Of course, Rikki Jai. Of course, Rikki Jai.
You have gone to the era with all these artists. And, I mean, now you're into the Machel era. How long again for the Machel era? Because nobody seems to be coming.
Let me talk about Rikki for a second. Let me talk about Rikki as Rikki here. Because it's important to point out, people don't really realize that even somebody like me learn from people, When I first see Rikki Jai with Advanced Dynamics Limited and the Armadillo and that Sumintra video, I was jealous. I was like, wait, but why I can't get something to look like that? Look how futuristic this is.
You didn't want the hairstyle, the hair was quite
it was high. But I was like, this person is breaking barriers. Yeah. And then I get to work close to Rikki in Spectacular. And I watch Rikki stand up and become a Calypsonian. Then a soca artist. Then I watch one day Rikki just flip the script and went back to his roots and started doing, chutney in a certain way. And still flip it, and last band on the road. Last band coming out, and still. So I say, you know what? This is how it have to be. You have to be versatile on all different fronts. Be who you are and know really the width and the breadth of who you are. So for me, I think I just start. I mean, I started in Calypso. I went through my teen years, left, right, back, push and take a borrow, take me back Africa, and then I went through the years of Big Truck Toro when I was the sex symbol. Then I become more like, the soca man
but you
with
still
this
are
new
a sex
international.
symbol. I mean, women still running up there to pat you.
When I'm in the gym, and it's a next, that's our energy.
Women still there pulling at your pants and...
It's our energy. Rikki, that is our energy. And Saga boys will know about that, right? Sean is a good boy. Sean is a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
Sean too busy working.
Sean won't know about those things, but...
and promoting.
I'm promoting.
Yeah, but it's really... I think, Machel have about 5-10 years, probably even 20. It depends.
I was not going to say let's not put that time limit on you, because you know what, you seem to be the kind of person who will really and truly outdo time itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think time, and I have a good idea and a good feeling about where you want to be and where you want to go, and you can't put time on that. You know what I mean?
Really and truly is about the goals. I really don't look at time. Because time can pass you by and time really do exist. Time is something that the Chinese and them create and they make, and they put. Really and truly is about what you could do in every moment. And I have a sound I want to achieve. And if by the time I fix it and I find it, I can't whine or I can't dance or I can't jump, I will pass it to somebody and find somebody who will do it just as good as me.
Do you think that it's just a Trinidadian culture to refer to artists as they had the time and everything else? Because when you look at the world stage, I see fellas like Elton John, Sting, the Bee Gees, and I mean these are great entertainers. They're still selling out stadiums in the thousands plus, and they're not stopping.
Rolling Stones,
and their fans expect them to stay there. In Trinidad, we have a kind of culture where people say, "Why don't I come on the stage and give young people a chance?" I mean, why is it that?
Why is it 2 million, Rikki?
Why is that in Trinidad? We have that sort of...
Rikki, I feel plenty of them telling you that. But when you're looking young, right? When you're looking young and you have ideas, when your mango on top the tree, that is where people want to peel the sweetest mango on top,
I'm going to put you on the spot, Machel. You are a man who have been in every different aspect of the entertainment arena of Trinidad and Tobago. Going into the chutney arena, who do you see, or who do you think you can help come into the soca market and make a good soca star in the Indian industry? Or if there's any at all?
But you know, first of all, I want to give kudos to the Chutney fraternity, especially for the last 4 years. You know, from doing songs with Bungie Garlin to really making, like, not just this year, maybe about 3 years ago, some of the Chutney music was some of the best music on the radio, hands down. And I'm talking about mainstream market.
Right.
You know, big up people like Big Rich and everybody who, you know, invested in that.
Yeah.
A lot of them look at it as if the goal is to go in the soca market.
Yeah.
But I think that is a wrong look. You know, the Chutney artists, just as much as the soca artists, we should really be focusing on how to make our music a little more international, keep a little bit of our traditions in there, but really make our music interactive with other cultures and other people, and of the standard that you could get it played on a KTU in New York.
Yeah.
You know, where it have, it have, classical Indian music in it, or whether it have a little African drums, or whether it have, a little parang, or whatever it is. We really had to focus on our sound, and I think, the Chutney music in the past was focusing on getting on the mainstream radio.
Exactly.
And it was working. They was mixing with reggaeton, they was mixing with a little dancehall, and making good songs, taking classical melodies. All these things I applaud. I've been watching people. I mean, Rikki have the science down, cool. Rikki should be somebody like me, who, they should put us in a position where we could not only give these youths the ideas, but we could sit down, hear the ideas, because they have the fresh new ideas. But we could hear it and we could just hone it and zone it and show them how to become an icon. Because a lot of them just looking for a hit on the radio and some money to work in a fete, get some gigs and to fly
that's hitting the nail directly on the head.
But they're not becoming a household name.
Yeah.
After Miami Carnival, remember I spoke to you and we sat down talking about what was your next move and everything, and you told me you were focusing on your main focus is to see about the youths.
Yeah.
I know you have the youths close to your heart with your book, and you have a big project and stuff like that. You want to work with them and stuff like that. How soon can we see Machel?
Look for the Machel Montano Foundation for Greatness.
Right.
And that is a youth-based project, and I want to first of all teach them about great people. I am a man one day just reading books. Somebody give me a Mandela book, I read the Mandela book. Then somebody give me a Mahatma book, I read the Mahatma book. Then somebody give me a Mother Teresa and I read that. And I really watch where, Mandela take a little vibes from Mahatma in his struggle in Africa. And I sort of think, I say, you know what? I like to read about these people. And then I realize in my mind, the one thing I like the most, or what I'm most impressed with, is greatness. So I started to study how these people become great. How did they really become great? One man just decided to say, I will be non-violent. You will hit me, and I will hit you back. I will protest. You know what I mean? One man decide, I will take jail, and I will go and sit down in jail and sacrifice my life. One person say, I will stay poor, and I will feed the people. And they became great. So I want to start off with these young people by, first of all, teaching them literacy, teaching them to read, but not just teaching them to read, teaching them to read about great people and see how simple it is that great people became great. They weren't born with superpowers. They wasn't born no different from everybody else. Some of them didn't have two parents. Some of them was poor. But they became great by holding on to something that they believe. And I want youths in Trinidad not to stop striving to be mediocre. Stop trying to just have a job and pay your bills and have a family. You could do all that, but you could also do something for the greater, humanity. You could do something for your country. You could stand out. That is why the Boy book came about. I wanted them to see this little boy with the little Chinese eye, the little, African face, the little Indian hair. He is a mixture of everything, because that book is teaching 3 philosophies: uniting, recycling, and polluting. And I really talking to them about being a hero. Right now they talk about Superman and Batman, and all the youths love SpongeBob, and they're watching Dora, and they're going crazy for all this foreign thing. And then realizing that if they watch themselves, they are heroes. What is a real hero today? what hero does do? A hero does save the planet. Right now, a real hero is everybody in the house. You have to save this planet right now. You have to save water. You have to save electricity. You have to stop using dirty fuels. This is the conversation I want to have with the youths. To love the planet, save the planet, and look at yourself as a hero. In Trinidad and Tobago, we make drums that nowhere else in the world. That steel drum make out of a dirty oil drum and is recycling. And we did it 150 years. And the tassa is just a clay version of that with skin pull over it. You know what I mean? This is our thing. So we have to show them our thing, show them how it relates to the world. So they could think of themselves bigger than just an islander or a little, we just mediocre. We can't be big like Usher. We can't be big like Michael. Yes, we big like that. We just have to think big. So this is my whole mission with the youths. Read about greatness, see how simple it is to be great, and then let's do great things. We ain't just going to talk. We're going to do. Save our community.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Help somebody.
For sure. Let's take a short break here on the Drive Time Live right now, powered by B-Mobile and, of course, White Oak. I'm sitting here chatting with Machel Montano. And, of course, he's not just, as you are hearing and seeing, he's not just a soca entertainer. He's much more than that. When we come back, we'll continue chatting with him. I'm Rikki Jai alongside DJ Sean. It's Win Radio 101.1 FM and Win TV.
The number one to plan ceremony. He said, listen up, young fella. I am just a fucking farmer.
Welcome back to Win Radio 101.1 FM, and of course, welcome back to Win TV. And of course, I must say a very special hello to our live stream crew. Machel, if you see, there's a little blue light up there. There's like millions of people all over the world looking at you right now on the live stream.
Worldwide.
And
yeah.
And we also on winradio101.com. We are live on wintvworld.com. So, the whole Win network is like, we global.
Yeah.
We global. And, it's a real pleasure to have you on the show, and I must thank you for taking the time out of your hectic schedule to come here, because I know plans are afoot right now on
That are about 100 calls.
Well, the phone going crazy, but Monday night, let's get back to Monday night, because we know where your head is at with the youths, and we know where you are, where you want to go with the music, everything. But right now, we smack bang in the middle of Carnival, and Monday night, when 1993, I used to boast and tell people, Monday night is Bacchanal, Tuesday is Bacchanal, Wednesday is Bacchanal, Thursday is Bacchanal. I mean, Carnival in Trinidad is really just not about Monday and Tuesday. This build-up is unbelievable, and your show on Monday definitely is going to take center stage. Give us a little more about the event, the planning, the stars. What can people expect that is going to be a little bit different than AC?
Yeah, every time that I think about explaining Carnival to people, I just have to explain them, when is Carnival?
Yeah.
And I say, sometimes I don't even know what to say. I say, well, it'll start Boxing Day.
Yes.
We fed almost every weekend towards the end. And then there's a week when Carnival starts on that Monday, and it go every single night till we play the road.
Straight down.
So that week is a royal week. That is really Carnival week.
Yeah.
Carnival Monday and Tuesday is Carnival Monday and Tuesday, but Carnival week starts on that Monday night. Mm-hmm. And I used to always want to be in that week. I always wanted my show to enter. I had to creep before I walk. So I used to look at myself on the Saturday. I used to miss a lot of tourists because a lot of people used to come in on the night of my show,
right,
or come in the Sunday for the Monday for the week. So, this year we had the opportunity because we couldn't get it Saturday, and I just look around and I was like, I would love to go on Carnival Saturday, but I ain't big so yet. So I say, Machel, let me go on the Monday. I thought it would have been nice to, do a stadium show and start on the Monday, the first day of that week, and enter. And the idea just came, I would promote it as the new brand, Machel Monday, because I didn't want to replace AC with something. AC was a series of alternative concepts. The country grew. A lot of artists like Kess and all the different people who play in our shows know what it is to go and play their own songs. So that was no longer alternative. I was coming back home, the return, and I said, you know what, I will do Machel Monday and call it the return and let it stand alone. But this will be the beginning of Machel having his concert in Carnival Week.
So we fixed on that day now.
So we fixed
for
on
a little while.
We fixed on that day for a little while. Machel Monday.
Saturday?
Until we could go to Machel Saturday.
Well, and you know, by the time we reach Saturday, it wouldn't even be Machel Saturday. It would be something like the Grammys of Soca or the Grammys of Carnival.
I like that.
My dream is to see all the big king costumes positioned around the whole stadium.
Right.
You know, all the pan sides set up on stages, from Despers to All Stars to Phase 2, Little Small, you know, and really showcase people come that night. You know, I was hoping...
But you know, Carnival Saturday night, Panorama night.
Well,
we're going to interfere with the system there,
you know. This dream could even happen Carnival Tuesday night.
Right.
Because I would love to see if every mass band could have finished by the stadium and enter into the stadium and have everybody in costume. And you fill that place with 100 to 200,000 people in their costumes.
Right.
You know how they used to do it in Jamaica Carnival. I mean, a lot of this is just dreams.
Yeah.
And sometimes with dreams, Rikki, you know, you have to dream it halfway, and then you have to step into it and start to do it, and it will tell you what it wants to be.
Right.
And then you just go along. So this Monday, I really wanted this to be about me coming back, me doing all my new songs, you know, for this year, but me going and touching on some songs that I haven't done. Every year when I come, I pull out some that old and I do some because my catalog deep. So I might do some Toros sometimes, I might do some...
You know, one song, I hate to interrupt you while you're talking, but I see Saturday night, when that truck horn for big truck,
come on.
I mean, Skinner Park literally exploded.
Yeah.
And I mean, that song is how old?
1997.
You know what I mean?
And that was a conscious decision. I wanted to win Road March.
Yeah.
I was fed up again, trample on.
That signature, yeah. I mean, the crowd, I was backstage and I like...
You know what was the thought process for that?
Yeah.
I was like, what is the biggest thing during Carnival time?
Right.
And there was nothing bigger than the truck.
Yeah.
Everybody will follow the truck. Without the trucks, there's no Carnival. They're running behind it, they're jumping on it. And when they hear it, everybody know what time it is. It's out into the streets.
And of course, the Calypsonia and you, there was also the double on
the big meat had to pack. That is what I learned from Spectacular, from being in Calypso. So this year, what do you think is the biggest thing in the Carnival? The biggest thing in the Carnival is the stage is back.
Is the stage is back, yes.
It's bigger than ever.
Without a doubt.
You know,
and
so
I mean, you know, I listened to the song and I said, you know, I'm not too sure who wrote the song.
Colonel Roberts.
But I
Young
mean,
Kitchen.
very, very clever, very clever. And I mean, you know, hats off to Colonel Roberts, you know. Not the singer that his father was, but oh my gosh, the writer. Unbelievable.
The writer and a great person because he giving a lot of young people a chance. He writing a lot of songs, he working very hard. You know, and he have a passion to uphold his father's name.
No, but that more than that, Machel, he's on the pulse. He's actually seen it as it happened before it happened.
Very talented.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's very talented. Vision. You can't take away.
Yeah, vision.
You know, and this is some of the things, Rikki, on Monday night, that is one of our main focus, you know, to show people that we here to advantage the stage for Carnival, especially we here to advantage Soca Monarch stage, you know, which is happening to going to be the same stage. We're sharing stages on Machel Monday.
Yeah.
But my show is going to be, first of all, technology, wow. You know, when you come and you see it, we want it to look like the Grammys. Many years we had Peter Minshall, and we had, you know, mass characters, we had a choir, we had plenty theater. This year we're going with technology. You know, it's going to look right, it's going to be well coordinated, you're going to have the graphics and the feeling that's going to give you a look of, yes, we're moving forward. Also, you know, we bringing in Pitbull, who again is working with Machel, who has become more popular internationally, and people accept him and his music. So he's going to give you that sort of nice dance party with the Enrique songs and the Usher songs and the T-Pain songs and, you know, all the different genres that he have. But I also have a lot of surprises on that night. I have a lot of surprises. I bring in Aaron Fresh, who's the young boy, and he's going to sing. We just released a song on radio today called Ben Over Part 2. You know, so it is a re-script, which is him singing and me featuring. So I give him the song, just like I did with Pitbull. I gave him Alright, and he turned it into his song, and I was featured.
Okay.
You know, as I say, eat little and live long, and let these people who have the potential to cross, but work with them. So Aaron Fresh is coming in, and he really pertains to the 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 17-year-olds, those people who now focusing on music and watching a young fella like that. I dig in deep too. I bring in, of course, the HD family, Farmer, Patrice, Zan, everybody coming out and bringing out some good old songs. We go in and party. But I have some surprises, Rikki.
Right.
Like last night I tweeted and I tell them, you know what? More friends. We had the show going from 8 to 4.
Right.
We're thinking of stretching now till about 2 because a lot of artists and my friends coming in saying they want to perform. But I want people to think about the list of performers who perform at Machel, and really wonder who else. Because I think it's important to bring some special acts. I want to pay a lot of tributes on that night.
Don't let the cat out of the bag. You got to be there on Monday night to see those special guests.
Can you put in my friend Rikki Jai on your show?
Well, I know Rikki right now. Rikki busy.
I'll have to check my schedule.
Ricky's a busy man. History maker. The first $2 million artist.
Well, I'm the first and second here.
Yeah.
You're the second one.
The second one, I tried my
I
best.
don't go wrong, For the last few years.
Calling it good.
Remember, I always call it good.
No, but Sean, everybody asks me what's my predictions. And I tell them, wait, you don't predict these things. You're focused to make these things happen.
Yeah.
And I sit in squarely knowing that my show, you know what I mean? Machel Monday going to be real music, real love, real energy, and what you call a seamless music.
How long can the fans expect you on stage Monday?
Well, we said 3 hours, Machel said for 3 hours, but sometimes I have gone 4 already.
Which brings me to a question, Machel. A show of this size and magnitude and number of entertainers, performers, and as you said, so many new technological inputs, when and how do you put that, that dress rehearsal together?
Well, it's tough.
Because, it can't be done separately. I mean, this is like a Broadway production.
Yeah.
And, when do you have that final dress rehearsal?
Rikki, we thinking about this show since we reached to Trinidad for the start Carnival. And every night we perform, we're trying to do something that pertains to the show. We actually started serious rehearsals for this show 2 days ago.
Okay.
And really and truly, we talented like that. We know what we want to do. We know the template we're working with. We know the dynamics of what to do. I have a great support staff. I mean, it have things that I don't have to think about. I have to big up, call certain names, people like Chinese Laundry, who, Tony is my best friend when it comes to these things because he understands what I dream in.
Yeah.
And he will take that burden off of me in terms of stage, sound, lights. When it's set up, like last night, he will call me and say, your stage up, eh? And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I down in the stadium by myself, standing up on that stage.
To look at it.
Just standing up on it and feeling the where I need to grow off. Last night I was on it, and watching it, and he will tell me everything cool. He's the last man will call me at 5 to 9 when on Monday night before Machel go, and he will call my phone and say, everything all right, everybody looking good, all things in place, the crowd nice, you're nice, and just put your head at ease and know that you have these people. I have people like James Walton, my mother. The office, people like Grayson, Marvin. I have the best support staff. And they make those things click. So that all I have to do is concentrate on music. And I go into, right now we rent a warehouse. We rehearse in our warehouse with a full song system.
Right.
Certain times we bring in lights and we do that for the whole season. We put out, investment where we have to do it. Right now we're in the middle of, I don't want to call it village because we already get so much visitors up there. But I want to thank everybody around in that village who really showing us love because we making noise in the head every night and then we have a secret warehouse and we have a lockdown and they're really loving us and they're giving us, they enjoy it. They come over, they bring in their kids every day to see us. And we rehearse there, but really and truly, Rikki, the dress rehearsal might happen Sunday on the stage.
Right.
Everyone is different. Last time when we work with Machel, we might practice something down in the, in Machel warehouse. But this time here, we're really on surprise. We're really on surprise. We're working very hard. We start rehearsing. We have Pitbull people in here ready to rehearse his set. We bring in artists like Mohambi, who is coming from Sweden. He is actually signed by Red One. Red One is the producer responsible for doing all Lady Gaga hits. And this is his first act that he's signing in and really putting out there like that. and Mohambi is singing soca. If you go up and you Google Mohambi with Bumpy Ride, it is soca. So I recognize these things. It's like when you recognize Junko in Japan dancing. Somebody will send me that video and say, look at this. And I will watch it and say, a Japanese person dancing dancehall,
right,
and they like soca, I go in for that.
Right.
You know, so I bring in what I think is fresh. I take in a risk. So there's a lot of young people, a lot of new people, but more than ever, I'm paying tribute to some real icons of Trinidad and Tobago and some real players on that Monday night. And I wanted to resonate with people because I feel we are at an important point in our culture dynamic. We are at a change. You know, we are at a crossroads. We are at a point where we could really reach for the stars. And Monday night, I wanted to reflect that.
So said, so done. Monday night is going to be
Machel
Monday. And of course, the venue.
Easily Crawford
Stadium.
What's the price of this ticket, Machel?
Let me thank the government.
Yeah, man.
Let me thank the government for taking me off the pavement, putting me back on the stage, and also opening back the National Stadium. Because that was one of the reasons too I didn't bother to come last year and have a show. Because without the stadium, Machel can't have a show.
There's no venue.
I can't fit in the Oval.
Yeah.
I can't go back in the Queen's Park Savannah and try to do what they do for the Beyonce concert to put up all that infrastructure.
Right.
You know, it's too tough. And we need to know that our artists really want to be big. I want to help any artist, you know, who wants to achieve having a sellout show, having a, you know, a big concert that could be like that. I think it is important, you know. Take it,
It's
guys.
Win Radio, 101.1 FM, the Drive Time Live. Powered today, special edition, Machel Montano, the legend, the living legend. He walks and talks and eats and breathes soca music. He's been on the lips and the airs of many international acts, you name it. The Fugees, Shaggy, and lately Pitbull, and so much more. Where he's gonna go, the road is endless for Machel Montano. But coming up right after this break, we're gonna be talking to him about his return to competition. Fantastic Friday at the Oval in Port of Spain. We're gonna be chatting with him about that. Don't touch it, dial. You're on to Win Radio 101.1 FM. I'm Rikki Jai alongside this other guy.
What's your name again?
What's your name?
I can't remember.
$2 million.
I'm going to say thanks to B-Mobile.
$2 man when you don't pay bills.
And of course, White Oak for being with us today. Don't touch it, dial. We'll be right back.
Live on Win Radio 101.1 FM, it's your boy DJ Sean, alongside $2 million man, who's going to be the $2 man after he pays his invoices and stuff like that, Mr. Rikki Jai, and of course, the soca king of the world, the man who's coming again, Mr. Machel Montano.
Another $2 man.
Nah!
Because let me tell you something.
You have an invoice to pay too?
No, but to be this big, he has had to spend. You know, he has had to hire a lot of people, and it's like me.
Can you tell Rikki that, please? Watch Rikki and tell him that.
Sean, when you came on board, you said, don't worry, partner.
I'm working for
I'll make you in. I'll make you in.
I'm going to take a doubles and
And doubles and I wanted what he really brought to the set, eh?
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Well, we're here. We're chatting with Machel, and once again, I must remind all viewers that this special edition is brought to you courtesy B-Mobile and White Oak. And we've touched on so many things, Machel. We've touched on your concert, and we want to wish you all the best with that concert.
Thank you.
But another important event coming up, Fantastic Friday. It's funny, you said the return of Machel Montano. And we actually got the song, I'm Coming Again. People didn't really understand what that deep message in that song. It wasn't just Machel Montano coming back from a year absence. It was Machel Montano coming back with Machel Monday, but more so Machel Montano coming back to the competitive arena Soca Monarch. Tell us a little about that.
You know, I like to talk about the return because the return was inspired by this country. This country really turned a corner. And you know, they returned to some level of sanity. And I was inspired. My concert was going to be called Return to Real Unity. You know, the only reason I didn't use the Real Unity was because of what we went through with Real Unity the last time. And you know, I had to think about it for a while, but I saw where the country was really returning to real unity, and I was gonna say, RU. My product was gonna be RU, meaning real unity, but meaning, you know, real unity ready. Are you ready? You know, are you ready for real unity? Right. So it was inspired by the country, and that coming again concept was so deep. You know, Rikki, every time I come with a year, if I am coming, I say I don't come halfway. Right. When I really come into share carnival, I'm not thinking about what song I'm going to have, how much fete I'm going to play in, and you know, how successful if I'm going to win road match. I actually think, what is happening in the world? You know, what it is, how am I going to connect with what's happening in the world, what's happening in the country, and how am I going to tie everybody into a concept that they could live every night? So then we could do whatever with it. We could go in competition with it. We could have mass with it. You know, we could do whatever. And really and truly, returning to competition was the last thing. I didn't even dream about really going back into competition. But that was what put the, you know, the icing on the cake. People say, Machel, return to competition. Right. Because it was a night. I was just watching the young people. You know, and everybody asked me, yeah, you went back in for the 2 million. You know, people going out there and saying, oh, it's $2 million, you know. That's why everybody going out because the Prime Minister said. But really and truly, it is related to the $2 million. Of course. But indirectly, because when this $2 million incentive was given, the kind of rush I see that people get up off their chair. Yeah. Men who don't even know how to hold a C note. Say, boy, I go and buy a song. I go and sing. I get in there, I watching Soca Monarch money. Everybody was enthusiastic, and all these young people wanted in, and hundreds. It was the year for the most entries ever. You know, even in the chapter Soca Monarch. But it's growth, and I'm telling you, I come from a time when nobody wanted to be in Soca or Calypso. It was they used to boo me. They used to sing Amazing Grace in upper level, and they used to be dancing to the new edition and. You know what I mean? Tainted Love and thing. And strips in when I come to sing Calypso. So that hurt me enough to know that no, if I could see the youths running, it's good. But I wanted them, when I look at it and I see them who hustling one, who justing one, who they fight, I say, you know what? Suppose I was to come in there. What would I do? And you know what was the reaction in the yard? Everybody was like, nah. You can't do that. Boy. Nah. Yo. Yeah. Behave yourself. And it was like, so they start telling me, I said, what are you saying? I too good to go in competition? Right. You know, what are you saying? It's about rules saying I can't go?
No, there's an advantage.
It's an advantage. It's very advantageous showing you sharp. And sometimes you need to fight against a man bigger than you to test your strength. You know what I mean? The only thing is that, you know, I have some secret powers. Yeah. And some things that I could pull out of my bag that will be hard to beat.
But some will say, Machel, that you know, you are putting yourself at risk. Yeah. You are putting yourself at risk. You are you know, there's a certain level of admiration and adoration and everything else that people feel for you as the consummate entertainer, the guy who brings this, you know, this level of professionalism, and you really entertain a crowd. And now you stayed out for so long, and now you're going back, and you know, you're putting yourself at risk of being beaten. How do you feel about that?
First of all, after one time is our next.
Right.
And secondly, you know, I've been beaten before. I was in Junior Calypso Monarch in 1984, and Natasha Wilson beat me in 1985. Right. And that was the first lesson my mother and them teach me. Learn how to lose. Right. Do not screw up your face. Do not go in the back and cry. Hold up your head. Clap the winner. Be respectful. Right. That was a lesson I learned in 1987. Okay. Sorry. After I won in 86 and all this. I learned that lesson. And I get beat almost every year after that. So I tired learn how to get beat. But the most important thing Rikki, which is why I am who I am today. Nothing risked, nothing
gained.
If you don't
Well
take
said.
a risk,
Well said.
you know what I mean, you will never know what you could gain. And
But let me interject here. You have never won the Soca Monarch title,
I have never won. I went in Soca Monarch for 4 years.
and you've never won
I
the title.
left the year that I was going to win, 1997 with Big Truck. The year that I had
Right.
match, the year I had the biggest song.
And I was going to ask you, with that year, why did you not run in and because there was nothing to beat you that year?
I knew that. I thought it was important to make that statement. My mother was crying.
Yeah.
She always cried. When I want to leave school, to come out of A levels to go and
Right.
study music, she crying. And my father be the one who will say, well, boy,
Yeah.
you have to know that you ain't going to clock a card, and you're going to
Yeah.
run your own business, and it's music. So go ahead, but I support you. And he was the one again. I went to him and I said, I want to come out of this competition. My mother was like, you're mad, you're going to win. Oh God, this is it. I said, no, I think it's an important statement. You know why? Because in them days, artists throwing artists bat out the dressing room, and they fighting, artists who love one another. It was so much animosity backstage,
Not much I changed.
and I was on love. I could not.
I think you'll see that next week Friday.
But watch for now.
Let me give you a rude awakening here, right?
Let's
A reality check. When you get there Friday,
Nobody want to shake nobody.
you might see strange characters sprinkling water and things.
Sprinkling things, all kind of this, and it was just war. It was so men watching men, so many talking to men,
Yes,
men
yes.
who hugging up. So I didn't like that, so I jump out, and my father said, "That is what you want, jump
Yeah,
out."
yeah.
But really and truly, you know, sometimes you're young, sometimes you're young.
Yeah, yeah.
This time is for a reason. I get to raise the
Well,
standards.
I for one, I am, I've been out of competition and I went back in, and and I can say, you know what, I think you should go back there. I see nothing wrong with it, and I think that what you left there in '97, it's time to pick up. And I wish you all the best with that on Fantastic Friday. Trust me,
Rikki, anything could happen,
Yeah.
And I love to live in it now. So next year, right? I might sing a chutney. Suppose I come in the chutney competition.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not going to give you the opportunity to beat me.
Step out.
Well, this is how it is.
I would have liked to go head to head on you, with you on that.
And show me who the real king is.
Test my skills against yours because I've been bringing it for quite a while, and I would have really liked to go head to head on you that. But maybe when you win it,
I like to
that will tempt me to go back in.
I like to stick to what I good at. I like to stick to what I good at, and I really see in music being fused. This year is important for Machel to go in the Soca Monarch. I don't see myself not winning.
I'm glad. I like your level of confidence.
Yeah, I am fully confident because I know I have a great song, and I know Machel Montano. Everybody know Machel Montano is a great performer.
And we know you're going to take advantage of that stage.
But not just that. Machel Montano is a great performer, and I have a great song, but I still sitting down,
Yeah.
and I buy every Soca Monarch tape
Right.
for the past 5 years, and I studying them.
Yeah.
I have the advantage because they ain't see me in a Soca Monarch stage in years, but I watching them, I acting like if I was a baby, and I learning, and I think I have the best presentation for the night.
You know what to expect from everybody.
Yes,
They don't know what to expect.
They don't know what to expect.
Well, I must say, the one of the pluses about Soca Monarch is that it's not an all Texan competition. There are going to be judges there judging you on your voice, on your presentation, your originality, and everything. But what's your thoughts on this whole Texan, in a competition?
Well, I mean, I think it have different ways. You see, you look at American Idol, and I think a lot of this inspired by American Idol because this is the TV viewing audience. I walk in here and I on radio simultaneously, I on TV, over the air,
Right.
I on TV cable, we on the internet worldwide.
Right.
This is the technology. You're really dealing with something that is technology
You're
based.
sitting down next to a millionaire.
You know what I mean? A big winner.
Yeah, big winner, the first one.
Well, not for long because according to him, my next week is $2.
And you know what I say? All change is welcome.
Yeah.
But when you have change, you just have to always analyze things. Go back, sit down, analyze it. Was it beneficial? Is there something we could do to make it better? Is there something we have to do to, enhance it? Or whatever. And just really talk openly about it. So, it may have worked for some people, it may not have worked for some people. At the end of the day, we sit down next to a true champion. And that is all that matters. And if it was, received by texting and it was the crowd and the people, this is what it is. You stick to your guns. I think technology is where it's at today. You give the people at home a chance to speak up. But at the same time, Friday we
Which would you have preferred in the Soca Monarch? Texting or judging?
Any which ways advantages licks, I really, how they do it. However they do it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they could have mashed it up fine like chili BB. Yeah, I do not put it in pieces.
15 minutes before the top of the hour, you're looking at the Drive Time Live powered today, a special edition. We've got Machel Montano on set, and of course powered by B-Mobile and White Oak. I'm also sitting here with DJ Sean, and we've been chatting with him for the last hour and more or so, and we've been talking about his big concert coming up on Carnival Monday, Machel Monday. It's going to be off the hook. Lots and lots of great things. Pick up your tickets nationwide at your favorite ticket outlet.
All Francis Fashion.
All Francis Fashion outlets. Go pick it up. Hey, Francis Fashion, boy. Are we going there, sir?
I'm excluded by Francis Fashion now,
Hey, it pays. Yeah. But then he's on to Fantastic Friday, where he's gonna lay claim to the ultimate crown in soca.
His first crown
in the Caribbean
for the season.
His first crown for the season.
The second crown.
Well, we come into that. Yeah. We come into that. But before we go to that, I want to touch on something, Machel, that we've been noticing a trend in the music in Trinidad and Tobago, where one, you've seen a rise in the what you would call the Indian presence of in Carnival. When I started in the business, it was just me and JMC Triveni and Drupati. And Triveni has held that position as being the band to be in all the fests. And then boom, over the last couple of years, you've seen Raymond Ramnarine and Dylan Adan making some inroads. They're almost in every all-inclusive. Yeah. Further to that, we have Karma coming on the scene with Ravi B. And on the airwaves, we've also seen chutney music, taking more prominence, not only on the Indian stations, but also on the 9.6, the 96.7, the Boom Champion. There's a movement, as you say, of unity in music.
Yeah.
But what we've also been seeing, and I would like you to touch on this, is that a lot of the music that is coming out is not getting the love from the general audience. And when you go to the all-inclusive, you yourself might notice that a lot of the old music is being played. The bands have suddenly changed their repertoire. You go back there, you're getting My Lover, Black Man Feeling to Party. Yeah. Hot, Tiny, Whiny. People even fetting with Frankie and December 63 and
Oh
What a Night and Rock the Boat and in a soca fet. Tell me about this, this change, and what's your view on this?
Well, first of all, you touch on one of the great things about Trinidad and Tobago. And I think this started back in the day when we had real unity. And we had the rise of the government and the change of the government, and it became now an acceptable thing for all the entities of Trinidad to take prominence. For everybody to rise up to the best they can be. A lot of the chutney artists reaching out to the soca artists, as the soca artists reaching out to the chutney artists. I consider myself and yourself two of the pioneers, Drupati, people who pioneered that movement, which is when I went to Drupati to sing a song, me and you have a combination. All these things we do in the effort of bringing the both people together. So that said, it's great. You touch on the music and the melody aspect, which is why, again, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, we had those chutney music that had real success on the na 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 na, real good melodies that people like. People want music. The generation after one time is our next. While we are advancing in technology, somewhere in people's spirit and their soul, and if you watch the general audience, they want more music. They want more organic. They want more live. So you have to be very smart. I just call it the 3 T's. I just keep tradition on the left, keep technology on the right, and I speak the truth in the middle. And I try to make everything I do be based on that right now. So that people these days really want more music, more melody, more intelligence, and more depth of chords that create that emotion in them, which is why you will see songs like Trini by Jai, where he used music from back in the day, but he used his technology as a young fella to put tradition, technology, and talk the truth.
Yeah.
What Trini is, cook, look,
Yeah.
and he succeed. People like Cohen Dubois, who wrote, and produced What Less. Cohen coming out of the Calypso days, you know, Cohen come up and not only that, he's an intelligent musician. He knows some music, but yet he spends a lot of time listening to things that inspire him, like jazz, and try to put that in Calypso. I remember Frankie Francis one time going by him and telling me, "Boy Machel, this Calypso ain't going nowhere because it's 2 chord and less than Paul and this and that." They're not putting, you know, 5-finger chords or deep music or melody in there. So I think we see when people returning to real music, but they still have a fancy drums underneath it. They still have something nice. This is what they want, and I think, you know, the reason for this, Rikki, is the most important thing. We lacking a music school in Trinidad. And when I say a music school, not just classes by Simons or classes by a music teacher. I talk about something that look like QRC with big hard concrete and statues and it like a campus.
The Trinidad and Tobago Institute
for the Arts.
Yes.
And you go in there and you're learning to play grand piano, steel pan, classical guitar, flamenco, parang, chutney, tassa. You know, every calypso, you learn about the history of the calypso. Soca, you're going there to learn to produce, to mix records on the latest technology. We need everything in one. We need foreign teachers with local teachers, with a cross curriculum, you know, and we really need people. You see, a lot of the musicians in bands, like you watch Roland and you watch all my musicians and Vincent, and not my band currently because I made that change. I went and looked for fellas who went to school, and I found them closest in Barbados. 2 of my keyboard players are classically trained pianists who went to the same school that Rihanna went to and the same school that Nicholas Branca went to. Half of them have a big school in Barbados. This is a music school that all these people went to, and they learn music, how to read, how to write, how to play, and they have the hotel industry. If you look in all the bands in Trinidad and all the pan side, almost 90% of them self-taught. Everybody learned to play chords. A fellow will come out of school, pick up a guitar, learn 2-3 things, and by the time he reach 18, he jump in a band and he get to play in 2-3 fet, and he start to make some money. No more school, no more diploma, no more certificate. You know, no more. We not as so. This is where we need the government again. This is where we need the private sector. This is where we need people like you and me. You know, after we win and we comfortable and we finish performance.
Well, we have a brother in the ministry. I mean, we could seek an audition with brother Peters and see how we could get this forward.
I think this is the time when we're going to see a lot of that being done, because I think that is the focus right now. You know, we have a musician, we have a calypsonian, but not just a calypsonian, a Swavi businessman. As a minister.
Listen. You talk to that man, he's been a policeman, a fireman, and everything else.
Own a gas station, man, a record store, everything. So I think it's a real good time, and I think this is the focus. I want to send it out to the government, send it out to people out there. If it had to be like a DeVry, where it's not something, you know, state-owned, if it had to be like, you know, a SBSC or them kind of things, we need a huge, major music school, because we will reap 10 times more melodic songs, higher quality mixed songs. We will get everything we're looking for.
Machel, your last words, we got to wrap it up. Your last words to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you know, the youths of the nation, before we head into Machel Monday and Fantastic Friday.
First of all, I want to thank Win TV for this opportunity. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Rikki. You know, I want to thank Trinidad and Tobago for, you know, welcoming me back, you know, after they thought I'd walk away. But I ain't really going nowhere, and I'll always be here. I want to tell everybody, enjoy the carnival. Let's be happy. Let's be peaceful, loving, and, you know, respectful to each other. You know, let us try and show the tourism, you know, the tourist people that we're not on crime. We're really on love and music. And, you know, let us come out to Machel show on Monday night and support that drive of the young people and the icons of this music, and our attempt to showcase our international potential. I want to call out everybody on Fantastic Friday, not just to come to the show, but vote for me like I will vote for Rikki. Text for me. You know, text me tonight.
Yes.
I might text you back. You know what I mean? And I just want, everybody to know how grateful I am for this opportunity. Machel is not going to disappoint. Fantastic Friday. My first Soca Monarch.
Machel, thank you very much for being with us.
Congratulations again, Rikki.
Thank you very much. And we want to wish you, from all of us here at Win Communications, DJ Sean, Mr. Jai Karan, Mr. Ramdeen, and the entire crew, all the DJs and all the technical staff here at 101 and Win TV. We want to wish you all the best. One, with Machel Monday, which is going to be off the hook. Two, we hope that all goes well with you and you take advantage of the Soca Monarch stage. And also something we neglected to talk about, which really and truly we shouldn't talk about, because the road is really talk about that. All the best to you with the road, for the road match.
That is the one of the people.
You know what I mean?
The voice of the people.
And that's why I didn't bring it up, because really and truly that's something that really and truly it's the people. That's their one time when they decide what they want. You know what I mean?
My job stops on Carnival Sunday night.
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday I play mass. You wouldn't see me climbing on trucks and trying to get people to sing my song. I do the work already.
Yeah.
And I respectfully accept the love freely. If they choose that is the song they want, I really want them to have the best time.
For sure.
And I think my song is the best song to advantage the stage.
Enough said.
Make front page. You do the rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Machel Montano. It's been a special edition of the Drive Time Live right here on Win Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, Win TV. We've also got to thank you very much, ever so much, to Be Mobile, Move With Us, and of course, Angostura, White Oak. Wow. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. DJ Sean.
Well, Machel, thanks again for coming here on short notice.
Thank you, man.
It's a pleasure to have you here. $2 million man.
$2 million
Who's going to turn into $2
and soon,
man?
Hopefully, the next $2 million man.
Before we wrap up, Cindy, Priya, and Katrina. Hi from the guys from Toronto.
Yeah.
You almost forget that, boy.
Almost.
Can't forget the girls.
You can't forget the girls. And once again, to all our listeners on the internet, winradio101.com, of course, our live stream crew, Win TV World, to all the people all over Trinidad and Tobago, thanks ever so much for letting us into your hearts, into your homes, into your cars, wherever you were and are right now. God bless you, TNT, and the rest of the world. I'm Rikki Jai, saying have yourselves a great, great afternoon.
Bye-bye.